Alright everybody, today we're looking at ordered pairs and relations. So we're looking at the way that we graph data. When we talk about ordered pairs, we're talking about graphs. So if we look at the bottom of lesson 1-6, which is in your book on page 31, and I promise we do have actual books coming. They're just back ordered, unfortunately, because everybody loves this book so much. But when we look at a coordinate plane, we're looking at a graph. This is quadrant 1, where everything's positive. Our y-axis goes up and down. My mouse isn't cooperating. My y-axis goes up and down. My x goes side to side. The origin is the point 0, 0. That is the place where my two axes meet. Okay, the origin is a very special point. And so we need to make sure that we recognize that by name. The other thing that I want to review about this real quick are ordered pairs. The first number tells you how far over we went. That's your x value. The second number is the y value. That tells you how far up or down that we need to move within our graph. An ordered pair always has a comma in between the two values and parentheses on the ends. That's how we recognize it as an ordered pair and not a set of numbers. If we turn the page, and I'm going to turn off my audio icons. There we go. So it tells us in example 1 how to graph an ordered pair. I know that some elementary teachers taught you to literally draw a line on the graph that goes over and then draw one up, but we don't want to do that. We want to have just our points on the graph. So if you need to do that, kind of lay your pencil on the paper, but don't necessarily draw on the paper. All right? Example 2 tells you how to write the ordered pairs, and here we're just going. You start at the origin, you move over, you move up, and you figure out where you're at. Okay? Those are things that we've done before, and it's more of a review. Okay. The relationship between values is one that we're going to be looking at more and more and more, and in different ways throughout the year. The domain is a set of x values. That is the list of values that are possible from what we can control. Okay? The x value or the domain is also called the input. So that's what we start with. The y value, that is our range. That is what comes out after we perform some kind of operation to our value. Okay? So the y is what happens as a result of whatever. Okay, and the easiest way to do that, we take our ordered pairs, you can put them into a table, and then you graph those points. Sometimes we're going to connect the dots, sometimes we don't. So, in example 3, it gives us a set of ordered pairs. It tells us to put it in a table and then tell us the domain and the range. So we can take our points and put them into a table pretty easily. Then what you're going to do, anything that's an x value becomes a domain, and anything that's a y value becomes the range. Okay? So, in example 4, it says that a seahorse swims at a rate of about 5 feet per hour. So what we have to do is make a table of points to graph. So our x value is how many hours, our y is the 5 feet. Okay, so if we had 2 hours, we traveled 10 feet. 4 hours would be 20 feet. So then we're going to plot those points in our graph. Went over one, up 5, over 2, up 10, over 4, up 20. Those appear to be in a straight line, and we can go ahead and draw a line in there to show that it is continuous, because we can have parts of hours and we can have parts of feet as we travel. Okay. You guys have some practice problems to do. Please make sure, I did give you a couple extra today, just because looking at like 12 to 27 and there, that's not real difficult. Once you create a coordinate plane for 12 to 19, that should not take you very long. But let me show you how to create a coordinate plane real easy on your paper. All right. What you're going to do, you have a piece of notebook paper. And I'm using an actual notebook. Okay. You need 2 pieces of paper. You're going to crisscross them. You can use a piece of tape from my desk. And when you tape them down, you have grid lines. Okay? So it's real cheap graph paper that you can use to graph those points. Okay? If you are somebody who's worried about neatness, put the crisscross paper behind and tape it that way. That way when you don't need the graph anymore, you're still writing, across on your paper. Don't worry about cutting the paper to size. That's okay. Maybe trim around the outside edges here so that the paper's stacked nice. But you don't need to, super trim your paper. Okay? All right. I think that's all that I've got for you today. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.